All right, ladies and gents, welcome to a new YouTube video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the lessons that I've learned from hitting 1 million in a single month at the age of 24. It would have been really cool to say 23 because I hit my first million month in November 2022. And my birthday is on October 5. So I turned 24 a month right after my first million months. But anyways, I have condensed it into three key things that immediately came at the top of my mind. And I mean, look, there have been like dozens, if not hundreds of lessons I've learned, but the ones that I'm going to be sharing, I believe, were the most fundamental to the success that my organization has seen. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Bastiaan. I'm 25 years old right now. I live in beautiful, beautiful Portugal. And I run appointmentsetter.com, where we help people become appointment setters and we help coaches scale their businesses. And yeah, my first million month, this actually happened in November 2022. And it was all momentum. And we started our company and it was Millionaire Consulting first. That scaled to 500K per month. We launched it in October 2020. And then we open up our B2C, where we help people become appointment setters. And basically the B2C branch did 500K in a single month. And then we had our B2B also do 500K in a single month. And that led to our first million month, because we opened up the B2C in January 2021, hit our first million month, 500K here, 500K there in November 2022. And the first lesson that I want to share is obsession is fundamental to success, right? Think about it this way. If you are at school and you're studying for an exam and you just like learn it the day before, well, what results are typical that people get, right? It's usually an F or a D or a C. Or, you know, if you're from Europe, you get a rating with a number, right? So it could be a 5.5 or a 7 or an 8. Now, if you're obsessed, right, this goes with anything in life, right? Not just studying, also fitness, right? Like if you go to a gym, you see someone with a good body, it looks great. They're simply consistent, right? However, if you see someone with like an incredible shape, they're perhaps shredded or lean, you can usually assume they go the extra mile, they do the extra reps, they're consistent with the diet, right? Now, it's the exact same in business. In business, if you are not obsessed with what you do, then, I mean, my assumption would be is that you've probably just not selected the right vehicle for yourself, or you've built a business dynamic that you're simply not in love with, and over time you actually dread, and you can never get to like a great height, right? So obsession is fundamental. The reason why I was obsessed is because I love chasing growth naturally, right? So when I hit my first 100K month, I was like, great, let's break that the next month, right? And then the month after that, right again. So when we started Millionaire Consulting, we basically launched October 2020. November 2020, we also did 100K cash. December 2020, 100K cash. January 2021, we did 94K cash. And then momentum started to stack up. We got our clients' results. We learned more very, very fast. And then in February 2021, we actually hit 160K cash. And then in March 2021, we did 230K cash. In April, we did 340K cash. May 430 or something. And then June, our first 500K cash month, right? And my mindset was always like, I want to do better than the last month. I want to do better than the last month. And I optimized everything in my life and in my business, which is a short-term approach. Yes, I know, but we did hit records, right? And our company is incredibly sustainable now. We've got a great leadership team, but back then, that's like how I grew very fast. And all the momentum that came along with the results have 100% contributed to that 1 million month that I saw a couple years later happen, or 1 year later happen. So obsession is fundamental. It applies in every facet of life, no matter what you do, right? You can really grab an example with anything in life, right? Like you got video games, you got fitness, you got studying. Think of a hobby you have, right? And think of like the average folks. There's nothing wrong with average if you just like want to, know how to do something. But there's also like the other select few, the top 1%, that love what they do, additionally of like being good at the thing and just go in deeper layers, and they master it, right? Full on, head on. And that's exactly the mindset I've always had with my business. And I'll be truthful, right now I don't have that. It's like either you have the hunger or you don't, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, I know I've still got the trait, but if you're in the coaching space, you know, everyone's goal is like to hit 100K in a month and then 1 million in a month. And you want to like at least have done it once, you know, and we did it like 3 times in a row. With that being said, I don't say that to brag. I just, you know, being truthful, give you guys like the full context, right? So that's one. Obsession is fundamental. The second thing that I noted down here is health is the real wealth. One thing that I've learned from hitting 1 million in a month, like the result is nice to say, especially nice to have, right? It's a lot of money and it's a lot of responsibility too, so don't get me wrong. And however, in that process, when I was like chasing record after record, working from morning till afternoon and night, but I loved it, I neglected my health heavily. We're talking about like 1 kebab a day, and we're talking about like 5-8 coffees per day, or 2 Monster energy drinks per day. And you know, right now, you know, I'm happy with like, you know, how my health's looking, how I'm looking. And you know, for myself as well, right now personally, I'm looking at like building out a family soon with Danique. It's the love of my life. And you know, I'm not going to be able to see that if I were to continue the way I was, because I just have a very, like, it's one thing to have obsession, and it's another thing to like sacrifice other important parts of your life to even, you know, take the time away that I should be putting in the gym or eating meals into just energy for my business, which right now, I don't believe in balance. You can live a balanced life, but I don't believe that balance achieves anything great, right? There should be sacrifice, there should be suffering, there should be you being obsessed. And I truly believe that's how greatness is achieved. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo, look at Messi, their life is just one thing, right? So health's the real wealth, because look, what's all that money worth if I cannot enjoy it because I die, or, you know, something happens where the quality of my life like heavily diminishes, right? Which would have like a permanent impact, which fortunately did not happen, because I was, like when I started minor consulting, I was, what age did I turn? I think like 21, yeah. And now I'm 25, I'm gonna be turning 26 this year. And life's been really good. You know, right now I've got venture capitals. I just received a 30K payment today actually from one of my venture capitals. So, and our coaching businesses are doing really well too. Let me show you the payment. Here you go. Just loading, right? So it's zero work for that. It's an investment I've made into a restaurant. And I also have school's worth $1 million now. So I've really been able to build up like a great foundation for my life. And right now I'm focused on health too, and, you know, hitting the gym. Right there actually where he's, yeah, right there behind that, there's an in-house gym we've built. So crushing the consulting businesses, crushing the venture capital, taxes are sorted out, and now focused on health and yeah, just the next venture. Because now I've got leverage, you know. I had to suffer and bleed for that leverage. And I'm happy I did that, because it's given me the freedom I've got today, right? So that's the second lesson. Health is the real wealth. Money is great, but what is it worth if you cannot like share it with your loved ones or have energy to enjoy it, right? So that's 2. The third and last one actually applies in everything in life, you know, and I was gonna say, and I will say, it's leadership. Leadership comes back in every aspect of life. We're talking about like being a leader for your lady, for your kid, for whoever looks up to you, for your team member, right? Leadership is important. And I started to like really notice my flaws as a leader. And I'll cover a few. I'd say one, a big flaw is that I had zero masculinity. And let me elaborate upon that. not zero. A man naturally has some masculinity, but when I saw Andrew Tate pop around, and guys, don't click away because Andrew Tate, please. I mean, unless you're triggered, then yeah, please click away. But let me elaborate. So Andrew Tate really brought the concept to the West, America, like just worldwide, of masculinity, what it means to be a man. Now, I don't agree with his views on relationships, but I do agree with his concept of a man and what he pushes young men to do. Because I got triggered by him in many ways, but you know, having run my businesses and just being the person I naturally am, I really have a big ego. So I took it with like, what can I learn from this? And is he saying something of substance and that it resonates, right? And he did, you know, he did. And I noticed I had a lot of like deficiencies as a man should have. Like, so just, you know, being fit, boxing, just doing man shit, you know? And it naturally, biologically makes you feel more confident, gives you more energy. Instead of like sitting on your chair all day, being skinny as fuck and not taking care of yourself. It's what I did, right, for years and not talking to anyone here but myself. And I felt embarrassed when I looked at like the concept of who I could be as a man versus who I was. And though I had all that money, I was like, man, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with, you know, how this is going and how it's looking. So back to leadership. So leadership, I was to number one. First I'll explain in business because that's what the video is about, and then personal life. So in business, my leadership was, so you got two spectrums, right? You got push leadership and pull leadership. And when I say that, here's what I mean. When you have push leadership, you basically keep your team's standards high at potentially the cost, not the intention, of their mental sanity, their happiness. You're making them just as obsessed as you are. Like basically leadership is just a reflection of who you are, and that's who the people you work with, what they're gonna become, or how they're gonna think, how they're gonna operate. And I used to push my team way too hard in ways that wasn't healthy, because that's how I push myself. And I mean, talking, if, you know, let's say my appointment setter booking appointments for me, if he'd make a mistake, I'd say, dude, what the fuck is this? Like, this is unacceptable. And quite quickly I realized like that was not okay. Obviously I apologized, and you know, I just tried to breathe first before sending a message, and the leadership, you know, improved over time like that. Or if something wasn't executed in the same day, I'd be like, dude, I told you to do this, but you didn't do this. And we're talking like 2021, 2022 here. And I was too much on like pushing, and I didn't really care about how it made them feel, which is if you work with people and if everything is virtual, like it misses that human element that there, you know, actually is, but it's hard to substantiate and notice the importance of it when you just want to break records, you want to see results, you want everyone to make a lot of money, you want to impact lives. I was, yeah, too much on the spectrum of being too harsh with my team. So that's one. Second, we never did any team meetings and we still did 500K million per month. And that's because like my marketing was really good, still decent, but at the time I poured like everything into it. I was obsessed with it, and it was my life. And now I've built a good reputation, good brand, so I'm pretty happy with that. But you know, there was no leadership in regards to meetings. There was no like clear chain of command, right? So that lacked. And so my leadership overall, like communication wise and structure wise, was truly, you know, the meeting part non-existent, chain of command, and the other part was just like too harsh if you look at it objectively. Some leaders will resonate with this and be like, yep, you know, same here, or maybe, you know, it's what you're doing, but it's gonna get your best people to leave. And I've still got some people by my side, like George, Yap, Paulo, that have been with me for like 4 years, and they've been through thick and thin, and they make great money now, and I give them a lot of freedom and opportunity. And that's kind of like the problem now, where I'm on the other side. I'm too loose, and I'm giving them too much freedom, and I'm not pushing them as hard as I could and should. Which now I'm back in the middle, so that's great. So that's, leadership in my business, just to give you guys like some context. And then leadership in my personal life. So, like if all you do is, make money and not work on your health, on your mindset, take your lady out on a date because you just want to conserve all that energy and put it in your business. And then if not, like your own thing, right? Your own hobby, enjoying whatever you want to call it, Netflix, video games. That's what I did. I literally played video games while I was scaling my company. And it was just like to de-stress myself. But over time I noticed like it just made me feel very not confident subconsciously. So I do business first, and then I just like relax with a video game, and somehow still like doing 500K per month, $1 million per month. Because it was just two things. It was just business, video games, and my lady. But that time I put in video games, I should have put into my fitness. I should have put into my lady. It's not that I neglected her or anything. Like, we're still together and we live in this beautiful villa. It's just that, when I was 13, 14, when I was 12, my mom passed away. And then I got addicted to video games, and I would play 10 hours per day. And it's still like such a deep ingrained habit, which, I have no problem putting away. I'm not addicted. I've stopped for multiple months, multiple years to scale my business. But if I do it, again, obsessive mentality, I do it a lot. So that's my flaw. And so now I'm finding new hobbies, boxing, getting my driver's license, shooting range, making YouTube videos. I feel like my energy is a lot better. So yeah, guys, those are the 3 lessons of what I learned scaling to $1 million per month. The 3 core lessons, at least. Okay, that was a crazy beat or something. What I was gonna say is that obsession is fundamental, and health is wealth, and leadership is key. So those are the lessons that I wanted to share. Hope it was valuable to you, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.